Edwards and Ryan Ermanni. Sit back and let's talk some Detroit sports right now on The Bottom Line.
And here we go! Tuesday, June 21st, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards, Bottom Line, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards. Good afternoon to you, my friend.
Good afternoon, man. Good to be back. Feels good to be Fletch, by the way, great job in the opening right there. Just had to turn my mic around. Fletch did a good job keeping it on you. Brian, it's hot outside, man.
I got to hit you with that off the bat.
It's very hot outside, buddy.
I question your ability to make decisions on a day like today. So, for those of you who don't know, Braylon loves golf. Is that fair to say? You love to play golf?
Yeah, I love golf. Like I feel like at the network, I feel like myself, Leach, Fish, and Neil, the guys that pay attention.
Something
to
you really enjoy to do.
I do.
You enjoy playing golf. You played golf today. It's 105 out there. I question a little bit your sanity.
Well, two things. One, I guess you could say three things. I love golf. It's fun. You're outside with nature. It's nothing like looking like the beautiful pine trees. Here in Michigan, we have great pine trees. Also, it's for work, too. Sponsors out there, you get a chance to sit and talk with some sponsors. You meet sponsors. They want to be a part of Woodward Sports. I want to help them be a part of Woodward Sports. Also, man, it's just my dad. You know what I'm saying? Dad wanted me to come out. It's kind of like our late Father's Day kind of deal. By the way, Maz, your guy, Stan the Man Edwards. We're on hole number 16. It's a par 5. We get up on the hill. I get us a nice shot up there. 43-foot putt for birdie. So we're thinking, this is not PJ. I'm not Fitzpatrick.
Right. You ain't Fitzpatrick.
Who, by the way, just won the U.S. Open. Shout out to my boy Matt Fitzpatrick. I'm like, we're 2-putt. We'll go par, and we'll live to fight another day.
That's what'll happen.
Stan the Man said, to hell with that. He lines up. Usually when you set up on a shot, whether it's the tee shot, it's an approach shot, whether it's a chip, whether it's a putt, whatever it is, you take a practice swing, you take a look, you look down, you take a look, you feel good. Stan said to hell with all that. He went up there, didn't take any practice swings, just swung. I didn't give a chance to give him a read or a line. 43 feet. Count it. Went in nothing but
the bottom
the cup.
of the cup.
I was like, that's my dad right there.
I had an instance in the back that you missed, and I think it was like on my third or fourth attempt. You nailed it, the length of the hallway.
Okay.
You'd have been very proud of me. How long do you think that is? About 50 feet?
No.
I don't know.
No, because I made that putt. In the back of the hallway right there, I've walked that off before. That's about 20, it's like 24.
So 24.
On a slippery surface.
If you could exaggerate it up to about 45.
Okay, slippery surface. On a putting green with a slope and a hill, and it's putting downhill. Way different, brother. 43 feet. But I'm proud of you, though. 24 feet.
Oh, man, you got no
made
idea.
That?
Braylon, I'll tell you, too,
it's Stan versus Ryan. I mean,
right, come on, 43-footers.
But I don't know, man. Hey,
right.
My guy Ryan, he's never come out of the game.
Ever. No
Neither
doubt.
did Stan.
Yeah, no, he didn't either.
This is damn sure true.
Maz, I would be remiss if I didn't say good afternoon to you and say hello.
Hello,
how's your
fellas?
day?
It's going good.
I have a situation here
I'm
where
staying indoors, man.
I do feel like I am at my heaviest weight that you will see me. Like I'm
Don't look over there in that corner because
Right.
that chicken Caesar is pretty good.
I am at the
Shout out to my boy Maz, by the way.
I'm at the high end of my weight spectrum right now.
That's how you throw it to me?
Well, I'm getting there. So my situation is this. On hot days today, I sweat. I'm miserable. I feel bloated.
It's good for losing weight, though.
It's not a good look. It's just not. And I am a little crankier on hot days today. It's like who's the Pavlov?
Come on, bring it to Pavlov's
Freud.
Sigmund Freud.
Yeah.
Sigmund Freud.
He used to stick people in a room, crank that heat up a little bit, and see how they react.
Sigmund Freud did a lot of things that are very controversial,
Right.
but he got results. He
I
got
keep
answers
cool,
that
though.
we still live by today. By the way, it was freaking hot out there. So I'm so glad that I had a chance to come to Woodward Sports. Missed yesterday. I'm glad to be here today with you guys.
Well, you were working yesterday, just not in studio.
Yeah, I was working with Joe Vicario. Joe Vicario
right.
had an outing at DGC. Shout out to Joe Vicario. The work that they do in the community is amazing. Joe Vicario is Joe Muir, Andiamo.
Yeah.
So, but it was so hot out there. I left after the 12th hole because I had to come to a job that I love oh so dearly.
Yes.
I saw a lot of people getting in their cars too, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? They say, hey, it's hot out there. But it wasn't too hot for the Gypsy vodka.
Look at you.
The Gypsy mulligan.
Do you have a little Gypsy mulligan out there?
We do. Finally. I thought this thing was a myth, man. I couldn't wait to enjoy it. And guess what? I had a chance to. And I had a chance to do it on a little bit of golf course. Fletch, what you got for me, buddy? See, when you golf as good as me, you don't need mulligans. Unless it's Gypsy vodka. It's a little corny, I know. It's a little corny, I know.
That is so good.
How far did you hit that?
That drive right there was 285, but it was in the fairway, so it's
effortless.
Hey, look, all you advertisers out there, all you businesses and corporations, when you come to Woodward Sports, we do you right. We believe in you. We work diligently, so you come to us, this is what the hell we do
That's
over here.
one take, too.
Oh, you know my name. One Take Drake.
One take break.
One take break.
Now, the one yesterday, it wasn't as clean. It was a lot of spillage.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Ryan.
So you were talking about your weight.
Got the booby sweats. That's what Doughboy Steve says. Lion Rumble 81. Ryan, just buy a sauna suit and get over it already. Braylon with the bars.
Hey, just a little love right there. I appreciate that, man.
Look at that.
Those sauna suits. Sauna suits are very dangerous this time of year. I remember like a lot of guys in the team when I was playing in the NFL, even when I was in Michigan, you throw those sauna suits on, you throw them, they're like always gray. Ooh. For some reason. It's kind of like in Christmas family vacation, they were running in those, the house next door. But guys struggle in those suits, man. You can have heat exhaustion and actually hurt yourself. Don't use those. I implore you. Please
I'm not going to do that.
Please do not.
Maz, I was kind of trying to get to the how do you stay cool in the hot weather like today. What is your secret?
You're looking at it.
Shorts, T-shirt.
No socks.
No socks. T-shirt.
What do those shoes smell like?
No, they smell good. I always have my Johnson & Johnson baby powder in there and change the insoles.
And Bray,
they smell good.
Yeah, you know what? That actually is the recipe.
Let me point this out to you, and I'm not sure if this is a me thing or if it's great observance. We've been doing this here broadcast
August 12th.
From August 12th, 2021 up until today and beyond. But it's we're coming up on a year together.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time we've done a show where Tom Mazawey has not worn
something sports related.
Or a button-down T-shirt or a polo shirt.
But even the polo.
That's my first T-shirt day.
That is a T-shirt day.
It's
a Rolling Stones T-shirt day.
I rocked the Stones today.
But even with a lot of those button-down shirts that you wear, they're bowling shirts. Yeah. The last time I checked, bowling is a sport.
You're making fun of me, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Not at all.
I'm not at all.
I just haven't seen you in a game like.
I swear to God, I'm not making fun of you. It's just an observance.
It is a good observance.
I think of you, and you always wear something sports related. Yeah. Be a pullover, a shirt, or
what are my two favorite
jersey,
things? Music,
sports,
and sports.
music.
Right. So, now, what is your favorite Stones song? I see the Stones. I mean, I'm just assuming.
The Stones aren't even my favorite band. But when I was in Jersey a couple of years ago, I went and saw them over at Giant Stadium. So my brother-in-law and my sister,
Jersey Mike, the original Jersey Mike,
picked me up a nice, I think, $70 T-shirt. So I like a lot of the Stones songs. I mean, I do, but I like the off ones. Right. Like She's a Rainbow. There's a couple other ones that I like that they played while they were in Jersey, which I thought were really cool.
I saw my boy Flannel Sam in there. You got excited when he named that song. What do you feel about that, buddy?
Oh, I love She's a Rainbow.
Isn't that cool?
I saw that.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a camera yet, but yes, She's a Rainbow. That's my jam. I'm glad you mentioned that, Maz.
Not a boy, Sam. You like the off ones, right? Everyone can like, Satisfaction and all that kind of jazz.
Maz, before we get into the sports situation, can you give us an update on the graduation party preps and what's happening on Friday and how much stress
what's going into that?
Kathy is the queen. She is doing the part. This is our back-to-back parties now. Last year, Lily's, and this year, Abby. Graduating, we're having a party.
What you do for one, you got to do for the
other.
Got to
do for the other. We give them a choice.
You almost got to do it bigger.
Yeah,
we give them a choice. The choice is, do you want to take a trip, or do you want to have a party?
Right.
Because they basically cost the same.
Right.
They both want a party. We throw them a party. You have to have the family and friends, and then, of course, they want to have their after party with just their friends. their little pool party. Their
So
little.
what are the adults doing during that?
The after party?
Are you spying?
Oh yeah, I'm there. I got a chaperone. I mean, last year's almost turned into a freaking rave.
Right.
You got to watch it.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine Maz like in the bushes, just like?
Bro, I mean, I hated it. I hate it.
Now, there's no drinking at the party
No,
for the kids.
I will not
Allegedly.
allow that. Wink, wink.
No, there's no drinking at the party for the kids.
No, there's no drinking. You know what? The Trulies.
The White Claw.
The White Claws. I allow that.
Right.
I allow
Oh,
that.
look at Maz, but the modern day. I love it.
I do
Right.
that. There were a
He's a
couple
good guy
kids
over there.
last year. They came up to me, Mr. Maz, is it okay if I have this? And it was a beer.
Right.
Is it okay if I have this?
What are you going to do?
They came up and asked me.
Yeah.
But you know what's good about that, and you know, because you'll be there one day, so get ready for this.
Hey.
I will as well, both of it. But you want the kids, your kids, their friends,
all good people.
You want them 100%. They come from good families, of course. If they're in your backyard, I know they're good people, and same for you. But you want them to ask you, and you want them, if they're going to have a beer, where do you want them to do it?
Right.
With you in
Right
the
in front
backyard.
of me.
You want to be right there, so
Right.
you can say, nope. That's it. That's one too many. Or you want them to be there because if they're sneaking around, that's when you got to work.
And I had my friends. We were patrolling the whole place.
Oh, sure.
And at the end of the day, at the end of the night, and the next day, we didn't find one bad thing.
Right.
In the house.
Right.
Snuck and hid and in the backyard.
Yeah.
Nothing bad. It went off great. Kathy's doing a great job. We got a Mexican theme.
I'm in.
This year. Abby loves Mexican food, so we got Mexican food this year. It should be fun.
That only happens here in terms of individuals drinking underage because our legal age is 21.
Yeah.
Most countries and other places,
Right.
you can drink at 14, 16, 17, 19. So by the time they're doing that, they're not trying to sneak and turn into alcoholic.
And honestly,
it's normal. They're fine.
And again, we're not promoting like
No, not
underage
at all.
drinking
Never.
here or
This is
anything like
turning
that.
I don't
something
drink.
You're right. Yeah, you don't drink at all, and we're not promoting that. Just
Never.
we're being real.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe that's politically correct or not. But when I went to Michigan, and I don't know how you felt about it, Bray, but when I went to Michigan,
I didn't drink till I was 21.
You could always tell, who drank before college and who didn't, because the ones that didn't
Were on the
drink
floor.
until
Wasted.
college were throwing up on
Yep.
everybody's couches, just totally out of control.
Chocolate wasted.
Friggin' just total disasters. And you used to make fun of those kids.
And the ones that did are looking like, what the hell is wrong with you guys?
What's wrong with you?
Gee whiz.
Get it together here.
Slippery Pete Spivak will be my bartender, by the way.
Oh, get out of here.
What time
USFL.
USFL Pete.
What time does this go off, by the way?
About 4:30 in the afternoon or something.
Because Ryan and I talk, I will be there, and I'm gonna stop there before I go to.
You got fireworks going
He's got
on.
Chef Bobby.
But I'm coming there first,
All right.
and then I'm going to Chef. I think Chef Bobby is 12 minutes from you.
Yeah, he is.
Not even.
Yeah.
He is right down Jefferson.
Very good. All right, guys. Big show for you today. Keith Gave is going to join us. Former Red Wings writer from the News, right? Or was it from the News? He is an author. Wrote the best-selling book, Russian 5. He's got a book coming out.
He did the documentary.
Yeah, and the documentary. Vladimir Konstantinov. We'll talk to him in hour number 2 of the program. But it is the topic of the day for us locally here, just a couple of days away from the NBA draft. Who are the Pistons targeting? Who should they be targeting? And are they considering moving up or even back? We'll have the latest information for you.
They may not have to.
Coming up next, Ermanni and Edwards. But first, a message from SMA.
The sports marketing agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the F Word, helps spread awareness about fentanyl and other addictions. Go to thesportsma.com. If you or anyone you know has issues, you want to get answers, or you actually just want to have the conversation, you just want to learn, hey, it's okay to not be okay. Sean Jordan, go to thesportsma.com.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. If you are watching on Twitter or Facebook, those feeds will conclude, and we'll send you over to our YouTube page, Woodward Sports on YouTube. 26,300 plus subscribers on our YouTube channel there. Please feel free to subscribe and also hit that like button for us. We'll see if we can get to over 50 likes before the segment is over. How about that? Let's get to over 50 before this segment is over. Talking Pistons, the NBA draft is just a couple of days away on Thursday, and Detroit has a chance here to improve their roster and make a move here in the Eastern Conference. And it starts with Thursday night's draft. They will be picking fifth. Who do they want at that fifth pick? Well, Troy Weaver gave an idea.
Yeah, we want to get the player, the best player we see has the most potential long term. But absolutely in that, you would hope that they could contribute, but we want the best player for the long haul.
So there's Pistons general manager Troy Weaver saying, yeah, we want the best player for the long haul, not necessarily who is going to be the best player for next season or short term, but who projects out as somebody who's going to be with this franchise when they compete for championships. Now, obviously, the name that everybody around here likes, and I think part of the reason is because we saw him 4 times this year at minimum, playing against Michigan and Michigan State, and just in the Big Ten alone, is Jaden Ivey. His mom played for the Shock. He has only worked out for Orlando and Detroit, which, by the way, has the first pick, and that's why he worked out in Orlando. I think, and again, I'm not a talent evaluator. I am not a general manager. If I was, I'd be trying to crack into the NBA. But I believe, and I mean this with every fiber of my soul, that Jaden Ivey is going to be the best player to come out of the 2022 draft. Period.
Wow.
I said that before, and I'll say it again. I think Ivey is the guy that sets up your backcourt with Cade Cunningham for the next decade plus. He is a game-changing, franchise-changing player. And I think it's incumbent upon the Detroit Pistons to do whatever they have to do to get this guy. If that means trade up to 4, trade up to 4. Who cares? Jeremy Grant is not going to be on this team when the Pistons compete for championships. He's just not.
Right.
The Pistons had the 7th pick in the draft a couple of years ago. It's been Killian Hayes. Killian Hayes still may be a really decent player. Him.
Who?
Exactly. But that's kind of what we're dealing with in the end. Sure, lightning could strike. You can get a Sadiq Bey here. You can get a Giannis Antetokounmpo, at 15, or Klay Thompson later, or even a Steph Curry. But there isn't a can't-miss guy in this draft beyond 4 to me.
I agree. I don't think there's that many good players in this draft in terms of let me rephrase that because I don't want to disrespect the guys in the draft. I don't believe there's any can't-miss players like you said. I think there's 3 players in this draft. I think there are 3. I think Banchero is 1. I think Chet Holmgren is the best player in the draft, and that's who I want. We won't get him because he's probably going to fall 2. He won't get to us. Chet Holmgren is the best player in this draft. And then next, Jabari Davis. Like outside of that, even with Ivey, he disappeared a lot during the Big Ten season. I didn't see him in the Big Ten conference.
How about against St. Peter's?
Exactly. I didn't see him against St. Peter's. I didn't see him in the Big Ten conference dance. I didn't see him during the Big Ten season. I saw him sometimes. Every time that they put Purdue on the main screen, on the big screen, and they say, hey, Purdue, #1 team in the country, here you go. Lost. Hey, Purdue, here you go. Then they go win 3-4 games when nobody's watching. Then you put them on the big screen again. Lost. So the flip side to that, which is interesting, is basketball is very different from football. The number one draft picks and the number one guys in the draft, the number one guys at their position, every game, which is only 12, 13 of them, is a telltale sign for football. Guys come out there every game and they put it all on the line. Basketball, guys are chilling. So sometimes you don't know. Jaden Ivey could be the guy. He could be the best player in this draft. But because of how basketball is set up, you don't know. I watched O.J. Mayo when he was the number one player in high school, had to go to college because he implemented the LeBron rule, had to go to college, so he goes to USC. I didn't see O.J. Mayo do anything at USC until the NCAA tournament where he played really good, and then he gets drafted by, I think, the Memphis Grizzlies. But it's a crapshoot in this draft. It really is. Because even still, Keegan Murray is a guy that we don't want. You don't want.
I don't want him.
You think he's boring? A lot of people, I listen to the radio here, and local guys.
I still think he's got a big ceiling.
He's already hit it. It's kind of like what they were saying about Aiden Hutchinson, which is much different. Aiden Hutchinson is a far superior player to Keegan Murray. But they're saying he hit his ceiling. But Sacramento likes Keegan Murray. Sacramento doesn't want another Jaden Ivey to play along with De'Aaron Fox. They want a guy to play next to Sabonis. They want a guy with some size, a guy that can shoot. So you just never really know in the NBA draft. Outside of the first 3 picks, you don't know. And those first 3 picks, even them this year, is suspect. So it's a crapshoot altogether, and the Detroit Pistons got screwed by having the 5th pick because now we're biting our fingernails trying to figure it out.
Goes to show you how much luck is involved with being good, too, right? I mean, you could have, just look at Memphis, for instance. Memphis, gets the 2nd pick in a year where, there's 2 great players.
2 can't misses.
2 can't misses.
Yeah.
And actually, if they got that number 1 pick that year, who knows if they would be ascending like they are right now, because Zion Williamson, maybe I'm not going to count the guy out. I mean, it looked like he could have played last year in the playoffs, but it didn't look like he's if New Orleans could do it all over again, who would they take? Maybe
Zion Williamson.
Maybe they would. Yeah, we had that discussion before, but
Jalen comes on here. Jalen tells us, hey, at the end of the day, they still would take.
But again, Ja's the guy that's playing, leading his team to a playoff.
That stability is
availability. And again, so if Detroit picks 5th, I mean, you got to have a little bit of luck. Can we not have a top 3 pick this year in a year where we had like one of the worst records in the NBA?
Yeah.
We got to fall out to 5. You couldn't even get the 4th slot. You know what I'm saying?
It's Red Wing-itis with the draft.
It just happens.
It's Detroit-itis.
Yes, it's Detroit-itis.
It just goes to show you just how much luck is involved with being good. Because look, if the Pistons did have a top 3 pick or even 4, well, now you really don't have to trade Jeremy Grant to move up. And
you can keep Jeremy Grant and use him later on as a bargaining chip. Or maybe he fits in later.
There's just so much luck involved in it. Guys, I want to show for you, I want to give you, ESPN just put out a mock draft a couple hours ago, earlier this morning, who they have the Pistons selecting. It is not Jaden Ivey. They have Jaden Ivey going 4 to Sacramento. So who do the Pistons take? We'll have that for you. Plus, have our college local players made terrible mistakes? I want to explore that with you as well. But first, the message.
3 of them.
From the Folding Warehouse.
Yes, sir. Of course, Ryan. Today would be a nice day for the Folding Warehouse because it's fully air-conditioned in Hamtramck. And, of course, your main man will be there, the man who made this game, Chris Hutt. That's right. It's football and bowling put together. Great game. 2 ways to play it as well. $12 unlimited open play. You can go when it opens, but you got to leave when they close the joint. That's it. That's the only rules that they have. Another way to play it is, you can have your own private lane reservation. 10 or 12 of your friends on one lane. It costs you $120, but you have it for 2 hours. You can bring your own food in, have it delivered. Many drinks to offer. You can have any drink you want because they have multiple full bars. How about a beer? They have over 100 beers to offer, plus the $2 mystery beer machine. Get your fold on. Do it quickly. For more information, check it out at foldingwarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron. Here we go. Got to grab the cranberry. Oh, wait. It's 2 for $4. Got to double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Three NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
From now until August 31st, all teenagers, I don't want to call them kids anymore. They're teenagers. They're growing up. 14 through ages 19. Free. That's right.
Free.
F-R-E-E. The best 4 letters that you will hear in the English language. Free. At PlanetFitness.com. Right now, Planet Fitness. Summer all along. It's part of the summer pass. Kids, go down. It's hot outside. Why do you want to be outside right now? You can be inside getting some air conditioning. You can be on the basketball court. You can be in the swimming pool at Planet Fitness. You can do whatever you want to do. It's free. And then what you also can do is take your dad, take your mom, take your aunt, take your uncle. Get them to sign up. It's only $10
Only
a month.
$10?
Only $10, Mr. Ryan Ermanni.
Only $10.
$10. Planet Fitness. Your fitness is essential. It's time to get in the gym.
Guys, NBA draft on Thursday. By the way, just looking at this Orlando situation, can you imagine Orlando has had the number 1 pick in the draft when Shaq came out?
Yep.
When Penny Hardaway came out, even though they took Chris Webber,
yep.
But that translated into Penny Hardaway.
Because Shaq wanted Penny.
And then Dwight Howard. You know, Dwight Howard, you'll forget.
Not bad.
I think he took them to the finals with nothing.
He did.
Dwight Howard.
Well, they had a good team. Like they shouldn't. They had a really good team. They had a good team.
Well,
and they were an expansion team.
Either
they
way.
were 1991, 1990.
I forget the year.
1990. 1990. They were only 1 year in after when Shaq got drafted.
So this ESPN mock draft that came out at 7 this morning. Interesting. The top 3 remain unchanged. Jabari Smith 1 to Orlando. Chet Holmgren 2 to Oklahoma City. Paolo Banchero 3 to Houston. And then this is where the draft starts. That's at 4. Sacramento takes Jaden Ivey, point guard from Purdue.
Even though they haven't talked to him.
In the view of many NBA teams, Sacramento's decision to either trade this pick or to trade this pick to a team vying for Ivey or retain it and pick it from a group expected to consist of Ivey, Benedict Mathurin, and Keegan Murray will represent the key moment on Thursday night. Almost every team picking after Sacramento in the lottery and even beyond has approached the Kings in exploratory conversations about trading up. And then it's cut off there. But nonetheless, even if the Kings stand pat, this is the interesting part. Even if the Kings stand pat, it is believed that they will consider the most likely scenario as of now is that Ivey could make quite a bit of sense here despite Sacramento's not being his preferred destination. He's viewed as the best prospect available by many around the league thanks to his superior long-term upside, physical tools, and shot creation prowess, giving him the type of star power the Kings might not want to pass on, despite Ivey not being an ideal fit on paper with the likes of De'Aaron Fox and Davion Mitchell. So that's what they say about Ivey. And that leaves the Pistons at 5 to take Benedict Mathurin, shooting guard, small forward from Arizona. Pac-12 Player of the Year. Intriguing combination of productivity and future upside. Just 19 years old. Would fit well with a potential fit with Cade Cunningham thanks to his ability to shoot coming off screens and prowess operating in the open court. Pistons plans for Jeremy Grant. Unknown. He is entering the final year of his contract and may be on the move as early as draft night. Keegan Murray 6, Shaden Sharp 7.
Gotta be interesting. And the thing about Jeremy Grant, let's go back to Jeremy Grant before we get back into the
He's going to Portland.
And the thing about him, they got to make sure they capitalize. They got to capitalize on what they can get for Jeremy Grant. Obviously, long-term, Jeremy Grant won't be here. We know this already. They had conversations about moving him before the free agent deadline this past season in the NBA. The Pistons chose not to trade him because they couldn't get necessarily what he was worth. Jeremy, what do they ask you to do in the NBA as a 2-3 guy? You have to do what?
Shoot.
Score and shoot. To your point, shoot and score.
20 points.
Jeremy Grant is a walking bucket. Wherever Jeremy Grant goes, do you remember the year before Cade McNamara? Not Cade McNamara. Do you remember the year before Cade Cunningham was drafted? Do you remember what Jeremy Grant was doing here? Obviously, it was a COVID year. It was an ugly season. We get all that. Jeremy Grant was averaging 25 before the All-Star voting. He was averaging 25, 6 and 6. The guy can score. He was on Team USA. So they got to make sure they maximize and capitalize on what they can get for him. Don't sell short. Don't sell cheap. And if you got to do something, add and sweeten the pot, then do so if you want to make a move. Now, with that being said, it's a tough, man. It's a crapshoot, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would hate to be Troy Weaver. I would hate to be Troy Weaver. I would hate to be in his shoes. I don't want these type of shoes. This type of year where you're looking at Jabari Smith, you're looking at Paolo Banchero, and you're looking at Chet Holmgren. And then after that, how does this guy fit with the team? How does this guy fit with the team? What do they want to do? Has Keegan Murray hit his ceiling? Has Keegan Murray, is he big enough? Is he physical enough? Is Jaden Ivey going to fall to us? Shaden Sharp. What are they going to do with him? Like, what's the deal on Shaden Sharp?
You want me to read the deal on Shaden Sharp?
Could you please read the deal on Shaden Sharp?
Because I feel like nobody knows anything about the guy. He's just this mythical, intriguing figure.
His attorney and his parents are making it so.
Marketing genius.
Yeah, 100%.
Where they have him slipping?
To 7 to Portland.
I've seen as high as 3.
7 to Portland. So here's the write-up on Shaden Sharp. Sharp's standing has solidified with some outstanding showings in competitive private workouts. His performance has improved with every visit, and he has completely a different timetable from Lillard, though. Sharp is clearly oozing with natural ability, possessing elite physical tools with his exceptional frame, length, and explosiveness to go along with dynamic perimeter shooting ability. There was a reason he was the #1 ranked player in his high school class, but his lack of experience and how little he has been evaluated might make it difficult for a team picking higher than this to roll the dice on him. Shaden Sharp, 7 to Portland.
I love, Maz, how they keep throwing out there, #1 player in his class. #3 this, blah, 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 blah. You know who else was #1 player in his class? Emoni Bates. I don't want to hear about what you did in high school. I don't want to hear about some mythological game that you played in and you look pretty good and blah, blah, blah. Because at Kentucky, if you can play, there's a guy
Why didn't he play?
There's a guy by the name of John Calipari that will put you on the court. You want to name some guys from Kentucky that have played, and even guys that were 6 men. Even guys that were 6 men that got off and balled and got to the NBA, still were lottery draft picks, that got on the court. John Calipari picks you up. Maybe John Calipari didn't see exactly what he thought he saw in you once you got there, or maybe they weren't scouting. Maybe they weren't watching rivals. Maybe they weren't sitting in the stands and watching games and watching diversity. Because when he showed up to Lexington's campus, he didn't get on the court. That says all you need to know. Even a guy, and I'll go back, Corey Maggette. Corey Maggette played at Duke. Corey Maggette was a 6 man. Corey Maggette didn't even start on that team with Trajan Langdon and front office guy for Philly right now. I can't think of his name. He was the big man at the time.
Elton Brand?
My guy, Elton Brand. Corey Maggette didn't start. Corey Maggette was a 6 man. Corey Maggette was averaging 11 points a game, 6 rebounds. If a guy can play, these coaches will put him on the court.
He decided not to. It says Shaden Sharp decided not to play at Kentucky to look ahead to the NBA draft.
This ain't the end. Hold on. This ain't football. This isn't Nick Bosa getting injured, tweaking his ankle, and then saying, you know what? I already know. I've shown enough. My pedigree is my brother. I know I'm still going to. This isn't that. This isn't individuals sitting out of bowl games. Basketball, you got to show something.
Yeah.
You got to legitimately show something in the 1 year that we ask you to play. If you can't show nothing, if you're that scared, if I'm a team, I'm legitimately overlooking him. I'm not looking at him at all because he was scared enough not to play. You haven't done enough to deserve that right.
Even Max Christie at least tried to play. He didn't show much, but he tried to play. This kid just hid.
Going to get to those guys.
I was just about to say.
Going to get to those guys momentarily. I do want to stick with the Pistons for just a couple of more minutes if I could, because, when the Lions draft came around, one of the things that I said was, this is who I want, but I will accept whoever Brad Holmes picks, because I like what Brad Holmes has done with the organization.
Do you have that same faith?
That's the question I was just going to pose to you.
Can I say something?
You guys are both screwing up my teases.
No. I'll say it when I come back then. I'll say it when I come back.
It's too late. we ruined it.
It's 2:36.
Shaden Sharp might be the smartest man in the room by hiding, because Max Christie showed you what he's got, and he's a second rounder. This kid is hiding. He might be a second rounder.
We'll get to that momentarily. Did those guys make a mistake? But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet.
Sorry about your teasers.
No secret that new cars are hard to come by, but they are available at Les Stanford. You got to make a plan, though. Allocation coming in for lease or purchase of new vehicles. Les Stanford also has over 350 pre-owned cars on their lot right now. All makes, all models, all years, some with less than 500 miles on them. So they're like brand new. Also, July 27th, they'll have that new Corvette Z06 on their lot to come on by and say hello to.
0 to
Check
60
it out.
what?
0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds. LesStanford.com. We'll be out there. We invite you as well. That's July 27th. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Yo, Scott from Woodward Bets. Hey, hopefully you guys have been following along. That's 6 out of 7 days I've gave you a winner. But we're going to get back to those winners here in a second. But first, you guys got to download oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and it's the best place to compare all the odds at the sportsbooks right in the palm of your hand. Hey, let's get back to that winner. B1 Red Hot, 6 out of 7 days in a row. Today, we're rolling with the White Sox to beat the Blue Jays. Goss's been struggling a little bit. Cease's been pitching well. Woodward Bets, oddstrader.com. Check it out.
105.
Alta. Our friends at Alta Equipment know when it comes to getting your job completed on budget and on schedule, uptime matters. That's why Alta Equipment has partnered with the biggest names in construction, including Volvo. How about that, huh? With the most diverse rental fleet in Michigan, there's nothing your project can throw at you that Alta can't handle. Give them a call at 844-GO-TO-ALTA today. Alta Equipment, where uptime matters.
Want to get to the situation that Max Christie, Musa Diabaté, and Caleb Houstan are in momentarily, but I did want to stick with this Troy Weaver thing, if I could, for a couple of minutes, guys. We gave, a lot of us anyway, and I think I speak for all of us, and feel free to tell me if I'm wrong, that when Brad Holmes made that pick, we were going to say, you know what? We like what's happened with this franchise. We like his moves through a season and a half. We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt, even if we don't agree with it.
Right.
I feel like that about Troy Weaver. I do feel like no matter who he picks, for me, it's Jaden Ivey, one, and then the second guy I want, Shaden Sharp. Those are the only 2 names I want to see on Friday night. Or, excuse me, on Thursday night. But if it's not one of those guys, if it's this Benedict Mathurin or Keegan Murray, I feel like I'm going to trust that Troy Weaver knows what he's doing, and I'm going to give him the same sort of latitude as I give Brad Holmes. Do you feel like that? Has Troy Weaver earned that?
No. I don't think he has. I look at what Brad Holmes did in 1 year. And this is even before we saw what he did in this year's draft. We'll get to that. You look at, you look at him bringing in Josh Reynolds from the Los Angeles Rams, giving Jared Goff a sense of comfortability, bringing in a receiver that was a veteran that actually ended up helping out who? Amon-Ra St. Brown, who got better after Josh Reynolds got there. You look at his grade as a rookie wide receiver. You look at Penei Sewell, who Maz has legitimately gone all year talking about Micah Parsons. Even Maz at some point said, you know what? Penei Sewell's a good one. Like I still want Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is a first ballot Hall of Famer, but Penei Sewell has the potential of being a Hall of Famer. Even Maz at some point said, I like that pick. You look at what he's done. Those moves helped the Detroit Lions at some point last year, and it started to build a little bit of a foundation. Going into the draft this year, we were cool because we saw the draft picks that he did last year. We saw how they showed promise. We saw some of them showed to be starters. Some of them showed to be Pro Bowl caliber, perennial Pro Bowl caliber players. So going into the draft, you're like, you know what? I like the attitude. I like the conversation. When you see Troy Weaver, when you saw Brad Holmes on interviews, whenever he was talking, didn't give up too much, but you saw his love for the squad, saw his love for what he was trying to do, stood by his coach and Dan Campbell. You had more faith in what he was going to do. And then here comes the draft. Aiden Hutchinson fell to him. I don't give him points for that because Aiden Hutchinson fell to him. I give him points for taking Aiden Hutchinson, but he fell to him. I give him hell of kudos, hell of points for Jamison Williams. And the move to go up and get him, the move to get the number one wide receiver through injury or not, in the draft, moved up. With Troy Weaver, outside of Cade Cunningham, what has he done? Like, I understand he got Marvin Bagley the third.
Sadiq Bey at 19, I think, was pretty darn good.
That was a good draft.
Yeah.
Trey. Look, Killian Hayes might be he got hurt. He might never live up to what he was supposed to be.
And it happens. I understand it because you can say the same thing about Jeff Okudah and all. Don't say Beef Stew. But Beef Stew is a poor man's Jason Maxill.
Look,
and I didn't like Jason Maxill.
You're absolutely right about that. But I think we're talking about who you're going to get at 5. You know what I'm saying? Like this was 16 and 19 taking Stewart and Bay.
Put it to you this way.
And hard to believe that Stewart was taken before Bay.
Which furthers what I'm saying.
But we lucked out.
What I will say is we lucked out. I will give Troy Weaver credit because he's faced with a tough task. He's the general manager of the Detroit Pistons. Okay, so that's a tough task. That's a tall order. So I'll push back a little bit. What I will say is this. Troy Weaver is in a situation. Do I trust him more or do I trust him the same as Brad Holmes? No. If he gets it right at 5 this year, then I think that he can be on that same level as Stevie Y and Brad Holmes.
And conversely, what he does with Jeremy Grant, right? I mean,
agreed. Very good point.
You can't get nothing for Jeremy Grant. Yeah. Even if you go to the trade deadline, right? I mean, then you know that teams are they really going to give you what you want for him, knowing that you have to trade him at the deadline. There's no way you're keeping him, letting him get to the offseason and not getting anything for him. So I just wanted to point that out.
That's actually a good thing that you point out. Look, I want to see a move. Like I want to see something aggressive. I want to see something like what Brad Holmes did. Now that's going to be the staple and that's going to be the standard, and it's a little tough. And even with that move, well, Jamison Williams hasn't necessarily played yet. Jamison Williams hasn't necessarily come back from injury yet. So that move, I love it. I think it's amazing, but it still has to work itself out. With that being said, I want to see Troy Weaver make an aggressive move. I want to see Troy Weaver do something that we didn't see coming. I'm not a general manager for the NBA. That's not my job. All I can do is read mock drafts. I can read ESPN. Maz, you and I can converse about what we've seen. Ryan, the same with you. But I need to see him do something that came out of left field. What if he moves up to pick 2 somehow or pick 3? What if he goes after Chet Holmgren I love Chet Holmgren, by the way. If he does something like that and goes and grabs a guy like that, I need to see something aggressive out of Troy Weaver because I think now is the time. You see Sacramento. What is Sacramento talking about? We want to win now, which is funny coming from them, but we want to win now. So the drafts that they're trying to do, the players that they're trying to add in free agency, they want to win now. Well, you know what? The Detroit Pistons should want to win now too because I think I'm tired of losing, and I don't play for the Pistons. I just been watching the Pistons. I think if he could do something aggressive that we don't see coming, something out of left field, I think he could put him in the same category as Brad Holmes. But right now, I don't think he's in that category.
I got something for you guys out of left field. What if Orlando loves Jaden Ivey, right?
They do.
Who's picking number 1?
Orlando.
Why not swap with Orlando? they still get Jaden Ivey.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just saying, what if you put a big package together?
Yeah, I mean,
to get the number 1 pick.
Sacramento, and you have a point.
Yeah.
Because Sacramento.
You could do a 3-team trade, perhaps.
I know you guys heard what was cooking last night. Sacramento, De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis. Who did they have dinner with? Keegan Murray. They want a guy played next to Domantas Sabonis. Keegan Murray 6'9". Keegan Murray can shoot the blood out of the ball. And I don't know what he can do necessarily in his post-up game or whatever, and as a slasher. But it seems like they're very interested in how he fits in as a piece. So to your point, doesn't seem like Sacramento's taking Jaden Ivey no matter what they say. Visual speaks. And what I saw visually, I saw TMZ pictures, Domantas Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox having dinner with your boy, Keegan Murray.
You know, just looking back at that 2020 NBA draft, this will be the 3rd draft for Troy Weaver. Last year, obviously, and again, I think Livers was a really good pick last year. Isaiah Livers, right. I think he's going to be a really good player for this team. And then obviously Cade was a no-brainer.
Livers was 2nd round, correct?
Yeah, and along with Garza.
Yep.
But in that 2020 draft, Detroit selected Killian Hayes. I think the only other option would have been Tyrese Halliburton at 12, is a guy that you could argue. And then Isaiah Stewart picked by Portland, traded to Detroit. Sadiq Bey picked by Brooklyn, traded to Detroit. But it's one of those things where I think whoever's making the pick, you say, this is the guy that I want if you want.
Yeah.
If you want to trade.
I'm just in this space right now. And you can call me what you want to call me. You can now call me a Detroit slappy, because that's what I've been my whole life.
You're a Detroit slappy.
Minus 1 team, but even I'm starting to come around on the Detroit Lions. I'm starting
look at you.
I mean, look, man.
Look at you.
Doing this show, I've been home.
Who are you?
Hey, look, I've been back in Detroit now since 2014. I'm now doing sports again. I love it. Woodward Sports gave me an opportunity to talk about sports, which I love to do.
With your boy Ryan Ermanni.
My boy Maz, Flannel Sam, Fletch in the building, on this great network that's Woodward Sports. But, I'm coming around on them as well. I just want some players that look like something when you draft them. Like, I'm tired of watching these other teams draft these players and they ball and they look like something. Watching Philly in the playoffs, and you watching Tyrese Maxey, you watching Barnes, freaking the rookie of the year, and with the Toronto Raptors. I want a player that makes some noise. Now, obviously, Cade Cunningham.
Yep.
I cannot disrespect that. But he's a number 1 pick overall. We don't need a number 1 pick overall to ball. I need that 5th pick overall. I need that 12th pick overall. I need that 10th pick overall to make some noise, do some dance, so we can win some damn games, so I can be excited to take friends from out of town to LCA, to Comerica Park, to Ford Field.
How much better would we have been with Tyrese Halliburton?
Well,
I'm just asking.
Yeah, he's a damn good
a
player.
lot.
How
Sacramento
much better?
got rid of him.
You know what, though?
Honestly,
you probably wouldn't have gotten Cade. Maybe you wouldn't have gotten Cade. You just don't know, right?
True.
Maybe you win a couple extra games and you lose a couple of ping pong balls and you don't get the number 1 overall pick last year. You just don't know. I don't know.
And we definitely didn't get it this year.
I have no idea. But just player for player, if you want to talk about talent evaluation, Halliburton's a much better player than Killian Hayes. Not to say that Killian Hayes can't be a really good really good player for this guy. Guys, I want to get to the 3 college.
Isn't baseball, though.
3 college guys: Diabaté, Houstan, and Christie. It appears, if you look at the mock draft on ESPN, that they have made a very big mistake about leaving their schools. I want to ask you your thoughts on that, and if you think it is a big mistake that they came out. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. As you know, we broadcast our network. All our shows come out of the headquarters of Lady Jane's here at 15 in Woodward in the great city of Birmingham. It is wicked awesome to get off the air and get your hair looking real good. A precision haircut by one of their talented stylists. All you have to do is walk in, sign in, sit down, and before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Ooh-wee!
Look at Stick. He's been in the freaking chair for about an hour.
How long does it take, Stick?
He's enjoying himself.
Over 100 locations nationwide, many of them locally here in the Metro Detroit area. Look online for one near you. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarthy on our side.
Lemieux and McCarthy, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
OddsTrader.com, the number one site for all your game day bets. Begin your handicap journey at OddsTrader.com. For play-by-play updates, live scores, and bet tracking, download OddsTrader from the App Store today. For the best price on every game, your most comparative bets, who you want, your teams, your sports, the games that you want to see, go to OddsTrader.com. They got it all.
Guys, the NBA draft is a crapshoot, and it's basically like gambling a little bit. The players are gambling on themselves, and teams are gambling on their own careers.
It's a lottery. Lottery is gambling.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so Max Christie, Moussa Diabaté, and Caleb Houstan all leave their respective schools, Michigan State, early. Very early, like after their freshman years.
Yeah.
I don't think, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm some arduous viewer of college basketball where I think that I know everything. None of these guys belong in the NBA.
Yeah.
None of them, period. Not yet. They all should have come back to college. And they all, in my opinion, potentially have made a very big mistake. So in this mock draft, Braylon, Diabaté is not even listed.
Oh.
Not even listed.
It's tough.
Max Christie, and I darn it, I didn't write it down. But regardless,
I don't think he was mentioned. He was second round.
Christie and
Caleb Houstan
are both second round picks.
Great.
Find me a second rounder that I mean, it's a crapshoot.
Draymond Green, there you go.
Fine. For every Draymond Green, there's 100 guys that don't even play in the league.
And even he shouldn't play in the league.
Honestly, even some of the first rounders don't really make it.
And to your point, if Draymond Green is not drafted to the Golden State Warriors with the two best shooters of all time, or one for sure and then another one that could be top 5, he's not going to have the same success.
So the moral of the story, guys, is did these guys make a mistake? And even more so, should they be allowed to come back to college if they don't get picked? Should they be allowed to?
I think they should because of the NIL and all, because they're just like professionals now anyway.
Yeah.
What the hell's the difference?
But that's almost the point why they make a mistake, because if Max Christie comes back to Michigan State, he potentially could make more money at Michigan State than he could in the G League.
Yeah.
And so could Diabaté and Houstan.
I'll start here because you asked 2 questions, so I'll answer the first question first. You don't know if they made a mistake because you don't know the individual. You don't know what the individual is going through. Max Christie might have got to Michigan State and said, you know what, I don't like Tom Izzo. I don't like how Tom Izzo, I don't like his coaching style. I don't like Michigan State's playing style. I don't like this campus. I'm tired of going to school. My parents need money now. I need to get into the league now. You never know the circumstances surrounding when a guy comes out. Like I tell the story all the time. After my junior year, my agent told me, he said, hey, because his agent I thought I was going to go with, which I ended up going with, but you put your name in the hat, say, let's see what the grade says, and we'll make a decision. Grade said as high as 13th overall. That's pretty good. As low as middle of the second round. I don't like those odds. I'm going back to school. But I had 2 parents in my household. I had 2 more parents that live 1 block over from me. I didn't need money. I wasn't pressed for cash.
But with NIL though,
and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, but also, you may not want to go to class.
Yeah,
you got to
that's
stay
what it is.
eligible. You think about it. In football, you can sneak in football because football season starts when school year starts. So if your grades are effed up, they won't know it until the bowl game.
Right.
So you can escape. In basketball, that season starts a lot later. So that first semester, you got bad grades. Guess what, player? You ain't playing.
You basically just have to show up to school in that first semester too, because you're eligible after the first semester, but second semester,
and
Final Four is over before the school year is over.
But at the same, but there's 2 grading periods. The first grading period is over in December.
Right.
So which means you could be ineligible for the basketball season.
But that's what I'm saying. You only have to stay eligible for 1 semester.
But at the same time, what if you don't want to go to school?
Right.
Like everything in life now for these young kids, like these millennials, it's now. It's now. I want money now. I want success now. I want everything. I want fame. I want everything now. So sometimes they go there and you blow their heads up. Maybe they've never done work. Maybe they breezed through high school because they were the man in basketball. They were the man in AAU. They were Ermanni Bates, and everybody did work for him. I'm not saying that was his case, but I'm saying blah, blah, blah. You get to college at Michigan State, that's not an easy school.
Right.
You got to do some work at Michigan State. Some of these cats like, look, you know what? I'm tired. I don't want to go to school. Imagine Caleb Houstan and Musa Diabaté. You think Michigan State's hard? Take your butt up to Ann Arbor. School is tough. School is hard. Even if you're an athlete, there's no shortcuts, no breaks. Yeah, they throw you in sports communication. It's still tough. You ever took Anatomy Phys?
Oh, hey.
Anatomy Phys?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like, look, I'm ready to go get paid. So what if I'm a second-round pick? I'm going to bet on myself.
Right.
Because a lot of guys in the NBA right now, they go to those camps. They got the G League. You get paid for
Exactly.
that. There's ways to go around it, and I think sometimes you got to look at it that way. But now, second part, yes, Christie didn't make a mistake because you never know how Tom Izzo's coaching these days, blah, blah, blah. I don't think he made a mistake. But Musa Diabaté, Caleb Houstan, leaving Michigan and what they have, Hunter Dickinson, player of the year a year ago or 2 years ago, came back. What they have at that school with Juwan Howard, what they could be this year in terms of a tournament run, I think both of those guys made a huge mistake, especially Musa Diabaté.
Maybe Juwan Howard didn't have room for them on his team.
John Calipari style.
On the other hand, I think Izzo's probably pissed at Max Christie.
Yeah.
Because he put a lot into playing Max Christie. He played that kid a lot. And he had a lot of pressure on him, Max Christie did. And, big-time freshman coming in, big star. And he didn't have a great year. And he probably would have had a hell of a year had he stayed another year. I feel bad for all 3 of these kids. And you know what? They're pros now. These aren't student athletes anymore. People are getting paid now. So if these guys don't like their situation, what happens in the draft, I think they should be able to at least have a chance to go back to their school or get in the transfer portal and go back to school.
Well said.
That's my opinion.
Well said.
That's it.
I agree with you 100%. You hit the nail on the head. Nothing more needs to be said about that. You're 1,000% correct. Why, if I didn't get drafted, can I go back to school? No, I didn't do anything wrong.
Nope.
Like, I'm getting paid anyway in college. Like, so what? But with that being said, at one point, what did you say? You said something about
transfer portal.
That wasn't transfer portal. Talking about Musa
Diabaté. They're pros. Musa Diabaté, by the way, I'm looking at best available players in the NBA draft on this draft board.
40.
There's 60 picks in the NBA. He's 70th.
Right.
Ranked 70th.
If he doesn't go to the team, the proper team, that he don't want to go, if he don't want to go to Sacramento, he should be able to go back to school. And if they don't want him, he should be able to go in a transfer portal, go to any damn school he wants, whether it's the MAC or the freaking the SWAC.
Go up for bid. Who wants to pay me to play?
Exactly.
Max Christie, 44. Caleb Houstan, 45, by the way.
Oh, wow.
On this list.
It ain't the old school anymore.
Back to back. That's what you said. You were talking about Max Christie. If I was Tom Izzo, I would be pissed.
Yeah.
I would be livid. I put all this work into recruiting you. How many times have I been to your house? How many times have I done Zoom calls? How many times did I tell you I'm going to give you the keys to the Breslin Center? How many times did I do all this? Now you get here. Now I do this for you. You struggle all year, but what do? I stay by you. I stake my claim. I stand behind you. I keep you in there. I keep fighting for you. I keep telling people, you know what? No, Max Christie's going to be a good player. He's just figuring some things out. We got to work through some things, but he's going to be okay. He's going to hit his stride. He's a young guy. Give him some time. I do all of that, and you up and leave? Now you see why Jay Wright retired. Now you see why Coach K retired. Coaches don't have time to put all that work in just for a kid to say, you know what? Coach, you know what? No disrespect, but F you. Guess what? That's big disrespect.
Guys, there's been a retirement in the NFL within the last hour, and it is a first ballot Hall of Famer. We'll tell you who that is. Coming up next, Ermanni and Edwards. But first, a message from Chili Peppers Tanning.
Hey, we're going to be at Chili Peppers Tanning, their 27th location in Harrison Township, coming up on Thursday. Make sure you come on out and join us, get a tan. Well, you can melt out there today on the streets of Birmingham. But come on out and see us in Harrison Township. Join the Pepper Club. They'll beat all competitors by $5 on unlimited tanning. Chili Peppers Tanning, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters. For more information, check them out at chilipepperstanning.com.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz for my favorite place. It's Big Boy. He's with me every day. There he is.
Slim Jim.
Gotta love it. Buffet is back at Big Boy, by the way, at participating locations. That's right. Every weekend,
salad bar. Can
8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Hopefully they'll get your salad dressing back.
Man,
I'm ready.
What's that salad dressing you
Supply
love?
chain. It's that garlic and oil.
The garlic and oil. Got to get it back for Ryan. Every weekend, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., the buffet. Don't forget to try our delicious classics like the Slim Jim, the Dolly Chicken Sandwich, and, of course, the original Big Boy. Find your nearest location at bigboy.com. The best people in the biz.
All right, gang. Woodward Sports Network. Rob Gronkowski has retired for the second time.
Not Gronk.
Fairly lengthy post on...
Why, did they trade him to the Lions?
Fairly lengthy post on Instagram. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. He says, I will now be going back into my retirement home, walking away from football again with my head held high, knowing I gave it everything I had, good or bad, every time I stepped out on the field. The friendships and relationships I have made will last forever, and I appreciate every single one of my teammates and coaches for giving everything they had as well. From retirement, back to football, and winning another championship, and now back to chilling out. Thank you to all, Buccaneers fans, the crew. Without you, none of this is possible. All y'all brought it every game. Thank you for all you do. Cheers for what's next. Maybe sailing in the seas. Arg. So Rob Gronkowski, and his picture, his photo, is just all of the Tampa Bay Bucks. It's him as a Buck because he retired as a Patriot before, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's
very true. Good call.
And that's how, you know, Brady got blasted because this post is all about Tampa Bay. Brady got blasted because his post was all about Tampa Bay. But, you know, Gronk retired already as a Patriot.
So when's he coming back?
Well, that's the first thing that came to mind for me. And you know, you see the story like an hour ago, and you're like, okay, when do we get to it? Is this like a pressing thing? Is this, you know, is this something we should do like immediately? Is this something we should? And it's just my first thought, Braylon, is he doesn't want to go to training camp.
If you don't want to go to training camp, then he doesn't have to go to training camp. Like, he legitimately is one of the best tight ends of all time. We need to get into that list, talk about some tight ends, who's best, et cetera, et cetera. But before we get there, he doesn't have to report if he doesn't want to. Who's his best friend? Tom Brady. Who did he win a Super Bowl with 2 years ago? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's one of the best tight ends of all time. If he doesn't want to come to training camp because he doesn't want to put that extra 98-degree heat on his body and all that and the wear and tear, then he won't go. He can have a conversation with Todd Bowles, come up with something. Hey, look, Todd, I'll play this year, but, you know, I just don't want to do training camp, man. I'm over training camps. And they would do that. You don't retire a month before training camp just to come back during the season after training camp. So he's retiring for the second time, Ryan Ermanni.
Yeah.
He's done.
Yeah. Maz?
Yeah.
You got a thought on Gronk at all or no?
I do. I wish I could have enjoyed him more. Being a Patriot
Jets
that he was, he is without a doubt, to me, and I've watched them all, He's the best.
No.
Yeah, he is. Better
No.
than Kellen Winslow.
No. Well, I'm not putting Kellen Winslow number one. Kellen Winslow's probably 5.
Who you putting number 1?
How about the guy that has 15,000 yards, 120 touchdowns, a 14 Pro Bowl appearances?
Gonzalez?
Duh. How about a guy that's from Detroit? Has 11,426 yards, 116
Antonio
touchdowns.
Gates.
And the only reason why I could put Gronk over Gates, even though I could put Gronk over Gates, to your point, it's tough. I won't put Gronk's 2. I can't put him over Tony, but Gronk had so many huge moments in big games, and he's the reason why they won Super Bowl.
You hit it on the head.
You
for
know
me.
what? You know what, Maz? Matt, he's number 1.
You hit it on the head for me. Only because he got the big games.
Maz,
you got it. The top 3. You just said it.
You talked me into it.
You just said the top 3.
Gronk's number 1. I agree with you.
Only because of the big games.
That doesn't happen often. You talked me into it. Maz, he's 100% right.
You got the top 3
Right,
hands down.
And I do think you have to consider that as part of any sort of evaluation. It's very rare. And the thing for Gronk,
don't sleep on Shannon Sharp,
is that he had. But
don't
again,
sleep on Shannon. Shannon's got
hold on.
Shannon's got 3 Super Bowls.
Hold on. I think Shannon might be number 2.
Shannon's got 3 Super Bowls.
I think Shannon might be number 2.
10,000 career yards.
Let me ask you guys.
Wow.
Let me ask you guys this question: if there's one tight end that you could have on your team in the last 30 years, who is it? It's Rob Gronkowski.
I'm taking Gronk still.
You're still taking Gronk.
I am.
I didn't like Shannon until he got on Undisputed, so I agree with you. Like Rob Gronkowski's I played against Rob Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski he's a mofo.
Listen, those 4 guys we just talked about, they're unprecedented. I mean, you just put them on Mount Rushmore. I hate using that word.
Yeah.
Just put them on Mount Rushmore. And that's what they are.
And I do think Gronk benefits from the fact that he played in some of the biggest games in the last 2 decades, right? I mean, in the last 20 years, the guy's been a part of some of the best games that we have seen in professional football, in the NFL. He's 32 years old. The guy got
beat up.
I mean, I watched that Man in the Arena, and there's like a episode on Gronk, and the shots that he has taken over the course of his career is like it's like Man Ram from He-Man.
Man Ram,
you know, I mean,
he's a monster.
Yeah. He's one of the most imposing figures we've seen in the National Football League, and had the benefit to play with the best quarterback we have ever seen in the history of football.
And that's very true. I played against Rob Gronkowski a couple of times in the playoffs as well. He just has a different will. He has a different gear. He's got that you can't coach. Like, you can't even be born with what he has. I don't know where the hell these Gronkowskis were made at. What factory, what lab in Arizona they made these guys at. Because Rob is different. How many times you seen Rob get hit 19 times and stay in bounds and still walk up the sideline and score? How many times you see Rob Gronkowski with the elbow pad, the elbow brace, the knee brace? How many times you see Rob get smashed and you're like, oh man, I don't think Rob's coming back.
Concussed.
And then he comes back. How many times have you seen that huge play in a Patriots game? They don't beat the Los Angeles Rams without Rob Gronkowski. Think about the play.
They don't beat a lot of teams.
The catch on the sideline. Like, the stuff that he did, damn, now you got me really, I hate him because I played for the Jets, so I couldn't appreciate him.
Me too.
But, yeah, he was special. You don't say that about Tony Gonzalez. With Tony Gonzalez, you say super cerebral. Had great hands.
Two teams.
Had good speed. You know what I'm saying? He used his basketball skills from Cal. Used his basketball skills. Him and Antonio Gates. Antonio Gates ran good routes. Very deceptively fast. All that stuff. With Rob, you're like, whatever you needed out of 87, he was going to do it.
How about Tony Gonzalez? Refresh my memory. He was on that Falcons team that fell apart.
No.
He wasn't on
retired.
that one?
No, he was
gone by then.
He was gone.
So he never won a Super Bowl.
No, he did not win a Super Bowl.
And neither did Tony Gonzalez.
He went chasing his last year for it, too.
Right. And Tony Gonzalez didn't win either.
But it was, you said Tony Gonzalez.
I did. Yeah. Okay, who was the other one?
Antonio Gates.
Gates. He never even sniffed.
Well, you know,
a Super Bowl.
Phillip Rivers, they played the AFC Championship game, didn't
they? They played twice. We beat him one year, but that's a whole other story. You know what it was with Antonio Gates? It wasn't his fault. it was a guy by the name of LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Because every time they got into the every time they got those bye weeks for having the best record in the AFC, they got cooked. We did it once. Every time they got to the AFC Championship, LaDainian Tomlinson, my ankle hurts, my toe hurts, my fingernail hurts. He never performed in the playoffs. Now in the regular season, LaDainian Tomlinson one of the best running backs of all time. I played with LT.
I really wasn't a big fan of his, honestly.
I never was either. I don't know why.
I played with I can't say anything about it. I played with
him. He didn't resonate with me. I was indifferent on it. I didn't like him. I didn't like him. I did not like him.
Me neither.
I was totally indifferent on LaDainian
Whether you were
Tomlinson.
indifferent or not, you better respect the 2006 season that he had. 2006, 30 touchdowns. Almost 30,000, not 30,000, almost 3,000 yards from scrimmage. He was a man on a mission that year. One MVP, obviously. He was, but to your point, he was. I liked him at TCU though. TCU, he was amazing. Home
good
frogs.
player.
Give me Eric Dickerson all day over here.
Aaron Tackett says, Austin Harris says him and Aaron Hernandez were a deadly combo.
They sure
you
were.
got to do that.
That's tough.
That's tough.
Just think if that guy stayed straight.
Austin Harris.
Can you imagine if he stayed straight?
Aaron Tackett says, Braylon, you got any of those 49ers jerseys of yours?
I actually do. I do.
Look at that.
I'm mad that I didn't get a chance. I didn't keep my 49ers helmet, man.
Ryan Long says, I think Kelsey will play himself into the #1 tight end of all time.
Nah.
Maybe his numbers will be so grotesque.
His numbers will be there, and he definitely is an amazing tight end. But I think when you're looking at the names we just named, like they have moments. I guess Kelsey did have a moment in AFC.
He's a horse.
He's a stud. He's a stud, but is he the beneficiary? Like, I can't wait to see this year. He was the beneficiary of Tyreek Hill, the beneficiary of Mecole Hardman, mixed in with Sammy Watkins and all that. I want to see him this year. When you're looking at Juju Smith-Schuster, I want to see what Travis Kelce does this year, because I believe this is the year that Travis Kelce can kind of put a staple on how good he's going to be moving forward.
Guys, can I get into some Michigan football next? J.J. McCarthy spoke with Brad Galley of Channel 7, had some thoughts on this upcoming season. Also, Jim Harbaugh, adamant about if you come to Michigan, what we're not going to do. We'll let you know what that is. Plus, Keith Gabe coming up in about 12 minutes from now. All that and more. Hour number 2 of the program, but first a message from Syntron.
The summer of Syntron is here, and doggone it, the summer is here, okay? It's no more, the summer is coming, it's on the way. It's 98 degrees outside, folks. The summer is here. And now Syntron is available at select Kroger locations. Go to CyntronWorld.com and find out what these locations are. The energy drink that is cranberry, that's the classic, and that's the sugar-free classic. 2 for $4 right now, and they're usually $3.50. Power partners, the Detroit Pistons, the Red Wings, and the Tigers. Check out Syntron. Let them be a part of moments because they want to. Drink it, live it with Syntron.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the Bottom Line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, gang, we're talking about Big Frog.
Big Frog.
When
Big
you
Frog.
need apparel, there's only one place to go. It's Big Frog Novi with no setup fees, no artwork fees, and no minimum and a 24-hour turnaround. That's pretty good. You can have your whole team outfitted in no time at all. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing. Big Frog and the styles you want. Big Frog is the place. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG. That's bigfrog.com/Novi.
Forget about Tom Brady. There's a network that has to go get Rob Gronkowski. Wouldn't he be fun in the booth?
I wouldn't want him in the booth. I would want him on the sideline.
Yeah, maybe that's a good point.
I think on the sideline, I think he'd be really good.
Yeah.
I think he'd be entertaining. I think
Probably
he'd be
really
fun.
annoying for
teams.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being like? Can you imagine Rob Gronkowski on the sideline for a Patriots game?
Right.
Belichick, would you get your ass out of here?
Oh my God, that's so funny. Guys, Keith Gabe coming up in just a little bit, talking about his new book about Vladimir Konstantinov. But I want to do a segment on Michigan if I could, because there's been some really, I think, interesting nuggets that has happened with this football team. First and foremost regarding NIL. Jim Harbaugh. Here's what he had to say about name, image, and likeness at the University of Michigan. Here's the quote. We're not going to pay recruits to sign here. We're not going to pay recruits to sign here. When they get here and they do well, when they get here and they do well, they're going to profit pretty good. It was a lengthy deal, and who credit this for me, Maz? Who did he do the interview with?
Clayton Safey.
Okay, is Clayton Safey just writing about it, or
yes?
Okay, that's just his tweet, or he actually did the interview. Okay, I just want to give the proper credit.
I'm sorry, my problem.
I just want to give the proper credit to whoever did it. So, sorry about that.
My bad.
I don't have the sheet. Sorry.
Whoops.
But again, this is in response, basically, to the $13 million that Ryan Day essentially told his boosters that he needed. We need, for us to continue our football program and keep us at the highest level, we need $13 million, which, I don't know if you were here for that day or not, Braylon.
Yeah.
He said that's basically what the payroll is at Ohio State. And kind of sounds like that's what it's been at Ohio State for such a long time. If you come to Michigan, we're not going to just pay you like they do at Texas A&M or Texas or USC, $3.5 million to get the wide receiver. That's not going to happen here. You come here, Michigan is going to be a transformational experience, not a transactional experience. That's his quote, not mine. And you're going to make money if you play well here.
When we had Brian Masalam on, shout out to Brian Masalam and Jay Strayhorn. Locker room, shout out to that guy. Brian Masalam said it. You said it. I said it. Shout out to Michigan State, Brian Masalam. Michigan State, Michigan, Notre Dame, they're going to do things different. It may be boring, it may be annoying, and it may lose them recruits 100%. But in 7 years, when this course gets corrected, like Ryan Ermanni desperately wants, and I agree with my brother 100%, when this course gets corrected, you don't want to be Texas A&M. You don't want to be USC. You don't want to be Alabama and those teams that have done things that they won't be proud about in 7 years when the course corrects itself. And that's what Jim Harbaugh is essentially saying. He said, look, why am I going to pay guys to come here? This ain't the NFL. This is amateur. This is the NCAA. If you want to sign an NIL deal, well, if you want to come here, then you come here. Sign your letter of intent. You enroll in class. You come to the University of Michigan. And then while you're there, after you do something or show proof or whatever, then you get an NIL deal. Then somebody like Lamborghini or like Alta or like Les Stanford or like Planet Fitness or somebody will give you a deal based on what you do on the field. But we're not coming into your living room and saying, hey, mom, here's $3.5 million. Can your son come to Michigan? That's not what you want to do, because I guarantee you when this course corrects itself, you don't want to be on the other side trying to figure out how you can get your good name and good standings back. If we have to sacrifice national championships, because we still could win the Big Ten, if we have to sacrifice national championships to be on the good side of things, you know what? Then so be it.
I do want to give the proper credit to where this came from. Jim Harbaugh joined the Jed Hughes podcast for an episode that was published on Sunday, so I just wanted to get that out of the way.
Thanks, Jed.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to get that out of the way because I don't want it to make it look like we're ripping stuff from the wrong sources here or anything like that. It's just not what we're interested in. Clayton Safey did write about it for the Wolverine. That's where we got that quote from. Here's some more quotes from Jim Harbaugh. Some are making it sound like the coach is making a salary cap or something. The one thing that is the one that is writing the checks. That's not what it's designed for. This is designed for players to profit off their name, image, and likeness, period. Now, are those comments a subtle jab at Day for basically asking for $13 million?
Yes.
I do like that, and I like the back and forth. I like
It should be that way.
I want that. We
Don't
need
run from
more
the
of
smoke.
it. We need more of it.
Don't hide. Don't run from the smoke. Look, you beat Ohio State's ass last year. Ryan Day made his comments, and you got him back. You should go back and forth. They haven't been quiet when they was whooping our ass. So 100%, if you get a chance, you have a conversation and you go at them. Now, you don't pick a fight and do something random with some comment that's out of pocket that has no value. This comment matters. This comment is in response to something said or something done by Ryan Day, the guy born on 3rd.
Guys, and then yesterday, Brad Galley of Channel 7 posted this audio with J.J. McCarthy. We'll just play it for you. Fletch, did you break it up into different? What do you have here first?
1 minute, so it's full. Here, I'll just use my mic.
There you go.
There you go.
It's 1 minute, so in full, we're just looking at. He's asking him how his arm's feeling, so we're gonna hear how his arm's feeling, and then. Just in general, being a freshman and like how that feels to be playing in the league.
Great. Let's hear it.
How's the shoulder? It's great. It's doing great. It's getting better every single day. And, it's progressing in the right direction, so that's all I could ask for.
How close are you to being where you want to be on the field with the shoulder?
Very close. Very, very close. I mean, it is a matter of a couple weeks now where I'll be back to 100%, so I'm super thrilled.
It was cool and refreshing in this day and age. I mean, you can go wherever you want, you can do whatever you want, and I feel like college football players, college athletes should be able to do that. And the question that was posed to you a couple times, why stay if you're not the guy? Because freshmen just do that across the country. If they're not the guy, they say, cool, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Why have you decided to stay?
Because it's the journey, and so many kids my age and kids these days always focus on that like destination and like starting and being the guy, but I'm just falling in love with the process and falling in love with getting better every single day and realizing that it's at the end of the day it's up to me. If I want to start, I have to prove that I'm able to start, and for them to have comfortability and just trust in me being that guy.
I'm a big J.J. McCarthy fan. You and I have said it. I think in order to have the best season that Michigan football can have, J.J. McCarthy has to be at the helm. Although I understand you got to be loyal to Cade McNamara. But enough about all that. Is it just me, or JJ is a really thin guy?
You're a thin, good-looking young man. They were there playing golf there at a golf tournament in Traverse City.
But he looks like a golfer. He's like, I looked at that hit that he just got hit. I'm like, because he didn't start last year, so we only saw him in limited action as a quarterback, a couple dropbacks. If he takes a good shot, man.
No doubt. But and I think that's an important point from J.J. McCarthy to talk about, too. Look, we were arguing in the back about this Tom Brady, Drew Henson situation that Stick got himself into on with Neil yesterday. And it's about 50,000 views and getting killed from Michigan people on thing about claiming Tom Brady. And Tom Brady didn't play this or didn't play that, which if you look at the numbers, Tom Brady played more than enough.
Tom Brady played more than Drew Henson, at the end of the day.
And he was the third leading, through the third most pass attempts in the University of Michigan history at the time of his departure. So, I mean, come on.
And not only that, though, you go ahead, Max, but not only that, everybody that was on the team when Drew and Tom were there, all the wide receivers,
wanted
all the
Tom
tight
Brady,
ends,
right.
all the linemen, all the running backs, and everybody on defense, because defense is really what matters.
Right.
They said, why the hell are we playing Drew Henson?
Exactly. Maz, before I come to you, I just want to make a point that my point in saying that was that J.J. McCarthy is that reminds me of a Michigan player, somebody who loves to be at Michigan and is not just going to bolt because it's too freaking hard.
Well, we were talking about yesterday, Michigan. It just seems these coaches, and we love them. Yeah. We love Lloyd Carr and Jim Harbaugh.
Lloyd today.
They just, it's the Michigan way. When you have more than one quarterback, you have how many, Ryan?
None.
They just make the mistake, Braylon. Why? Play the best guy.
John Navarre.
Play the best guy.
I talked to Lloyd earlier today, and I don't mean to dampen the moment for a second, but a teammate of mine, Zach Kaufman, played linebacker. He passed away in his sleep last year. Last week.
Sorry to hear that.
Cardiac arrest. Zach was a linebacker out of California. He born 37. He's class of 2000, so he's a year older than me. But Lloyd called me today asking for details, man. So I love when I get a chance to talk to Lloyd. I hate that it had to be under that guy's, but rest in peace to Zach Kaufman.
We'll hear more from J.J. McCarthy and, of course, get to really what's becoming the story of the day as well. Looks like, are we getting closer to a resolution for Deshaun Watson? We'll have that for you coming up next. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They are your local security experts, have been for over 90 freaking years. Guardian Alarm will protect you and give you peace of mind, 24/7 local monitoring. They can do it all. And all you have to do, the easiest part, is just call that phone number, 1-800-STAY-OUT. That number again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Hey, Braylon, by the way, look at the new logo.
Ooh.
Stay out.
Do you like it?
I like it. Love it.
Okay.
No, I don't like it. I love it.
It's got a little bit of that Las Vegas Golden Knights in it a little bit.
Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Stay out.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Oh God, Woodward Sports Network. Last night we're sitting there. We have a text chain with all of us, and Maz says, "I cashed out my bet with the Lightning. The Lightning just don't have it. It's over. They just don't have it anymore. They're tired. It's over." And then as soon as literally I get done reading the text, it's bing, 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 Lightning. Rattle off like 6 goals. Yeah. 6-2 final. They get back into the series and trail the Colorado Avalanche 2-1, Game 4 on Wednesday night.
Nobody could breathe life into a team like I can.
He cashes
Nobody.
out his bet at 0-0. They just don't have it, he says.
I love Maz.
0-0.
Maz is still on fire because of the Golden State Warriors and his early prediction last season. So now he's just going for gold. He's going for broke now, man. It's okay, Maz.
They look done to me.
So funny.
Oh yeah, I mean you win one. At the end of the day, they are done. I mean, how many Game 7s did they go to?
Right.
Like Tampa Bay had an average season until the last month and a half.
They're not going to win the series.
They've struggled in the postseason as well. I mean, they've made it. You have to give them credit. They've shown you that championship pedigree. They've shown you why they are the reigning, defending, back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. But guess what? It's a new sheriff in town.
There is.
And I freaking hate them. The
Guys,
Colorado Avalanche.
I want to do a little bit of a rapid fire, if I could, over the next couple of minutes.
That's rapid fire.
Deshaun Watson has reached a settlement.
Fire.
In 20 of the 24 civil cases. So he's reached
I thought he was innocent.
He's reached now a settlement.
You can be innocent and still settle civilly.
He's reached a settlement with 20 of the 24 I don't want to call him
defendants. He's a defendant.
Yeah, I don't know. Maz, I got to start having these printed out. I got to start having these tweets printed out, please. It's driving me nuts.
You can't just read it?
No, I can't.
Why? Because Flex doesn't put them up? Hey, Flex, can you put these freaking things up, please?
I got to have it.
Hold on.
Okay.
Here's the tweet that he wanted that he was talking about. Yeah. Maz took this one out of the rundown, so I didn't put it in VMix.
Okay, very good.
Ooh.
Either way, there you go. Deshaun Watson has reached a confidential settlement with all but 4 of the civil lawsuits that were filed against him, according to the attorney for the alleged victims. 20 out of 24 civil lawsuits now filed will soon be dismissed. What did the other 4 mean? We'll see what happens. Are those trending in that direction? I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. Are some going to decide they want to go the full way? I don't freaking know. But it looks like this is coming to resolution soon, and that Deshaun Watson. There was an Albert Breer tweet too, please.
We have that.
Okay.
But do me a favor,
yes.
before we see the Albert Breer,
just right now.
Just read on the paper what I wrote. Just read it to the people, just for the fun of it.
Deshaun Watson has reached confidential settlements with all but 4 of the civil lawsuits that were filed against him and will soon be dismissed.
And what did you just read?
Fair enough.
Okay.
I guess we don't need any of the tweets then.
We don't. We can put them up for the people to watch.
That'd be good.
Okay, great.
Okay, very good.
Okay, good.
So Albert Breer says,
"Are you guys done?"
The NFL Players Association, and an arbitrator had the June 30th deadline for pretrial discovery circled as one to get past on their decision timeline. With settlements in place, the date becomes less relevant and real closure more realistic. So Deshaun Watson, it looks like, Braylon, we're going to get a resolution here before training camp.
And I think this is what we were talking about. What we've been talking about is the NFL is waiting for all this to kind of play out. I guarantee the NFL has known the timetable that was going to happen with this, knowing a timetable what's going to happen with maybe more cases to come out, et cetera, et cetera. NFL was waiting for courts to settle it fully, or for him to settle it fully, so that they can make their judgment, pass it down. Because once they pass it down, you can't take it back. Like, you don't want to pass the judgment down. I mean, everybody wanted it, but you don't want to pass the judgment down 2 months ago, and then more comes out. He's not doing this, and now something else comes out in discovery. Now it's like, oh, wait a minute. 27, and that 27 is a smoking gun. Now you're in the NFL, you're like, oh, shoot. We said he could play this year. He's not suspended any games. Can we go back and change that? So I think they want to make sure that they had all the evidence right up into kickoff, opening game, so that they can make that decision, so that they don't look bad and have to go back and do a retraction. Because nobody likes a retraction.
And honestly, we should have some sort of a resolution before camp, and we just might get that. Also, guys, Charles Barkley was on Get Up the other day, on Friday, and told Greeny and the gang that he believes Kevin Durant needs to go elsewhere to win a championship. Or, excuse me, he needs to win a championship to be really respected by the older crowd. C.J. McCollum, who was on that show as well, disagreed with that take, saying Kevin Durant was the bus driver of that team. His resume speaks for himself. There's no blemishes on it. The part about that is a little murky for me. Who's to say Golden State couldn't win those championships without him? Because they won a championship before he got to the team. They won a championship after he got to the team. Who's to say Steph, Draymond, Clay, and Harrison Barnes couldn't win that championship without Draymond or without Kevin Durant?
They needed him.
Is he right?
They needed him.
I'm to say that they needed Kevin Durant. Maz, my brother, is to say they needed Kevin Durant. Because what happened when they won their very first one? There's a guy by the name of Kevin Love, messed his shoulder up, played one game that series. There's a guy by the name of Kyrie Irving, messed his knee up in the Eastern Conference Finals, didn't play in that championship series. So, yeah, they got a W. And then the next year, you can argue about Draymond Green, Andrew Bogut, and all the other BS. Kevin Durant was lights freaking out. And I understand that Steph Curry played really good the second championship that they won with Kevin Durant. But do you know why Steph Curry played that good? Because when you got Durantula pulling up from half court in Bron James' mouth every freaking game at the Q, or whatever the hell it's called now, Quicken Loans or Rocket Mortgage Arena House, or whatever they want to call it, Kevin Durant was lights out and amazing. They wouldn't have won those championships without him. Now, does he need to win to solidify himself? First of all, Charles, nobody cares about you.
Yeah, they do.
Let me finish. Because if he gets a chance to sit up there and criticize people, then we can sit up here and criticize him. Where's his ring?
He's got a gold medal.
Michael Jordan is in the league.
He's got a gold medal.
I don't want to hear that. If you're going to sit up there and have that conversation about a guy who's arguably the greatest offensive player of all time, the greatest offensive player, I said arguably, the greatest offensive player of all time, the greatest offensive weapon all time, one of the best shooters all time, 2-time Finals MVP, 2-time champion. If you want to do all that, come on now, Chuck. Like don't be that old guy. And Chuck actually has been pretty good in the recent history. He's been giving a lot of young guys credit. He hasn't been that old guy. There's something about Kevin Durant, and maybe it was the move for leaving OKC after they were up 3-1 on Golden State. Maybe it was that, and then joining them. Maybe that's what his gripe is. But there's something about KD that just really gets under Charles Barkley's skin. Oh, I got it. He got a freaking championship. Because at the end of the day, Charles Barkley was chasing rings too.
I know.
He just didn't get it done.
You know what? I think those guys are. And Barkley was at the tail end when he joined Drexler and Olajuwon, just like Scottie Pippen joined Portland back in the day.
He also joined Houston.
Yeah, and he joined Houston too. And Karl Malone and Gary Payton at the end of their career joined Shaq and Kobe.
But at the same time, you got to understand, and I'm going to take it down a peg, take it down a notch. I got a little excited. I don't like when the old guys do that, man. You got to understand with Kevin Durant why he left OKC. Now, obviously, Golden State was that squad. Obviously, Steph Curry's that guy. Klay Thompson's that guy. But he wanted to play a different brand of basketball. He was tired of the one-on-ones. He was tired of Russell Westbrook jacking up shots.
Yeah.
They play a very selfless game in Golden State. One night, Klay Thompson can have 30. Well, at least back then. One night, Steph can have 30. One night, Draymond Green can have 10. They play a different type of ball game over there, and he wanted to learn how to move that way so he could learn that type of basketball and eventually implement it into his game, in which he thought that was going to happen with the Brooklyn Nets, Kyrie, and James Harden. And that's exactly what he did. It's about learning the game.
I do think a lot of those older guys, though, like, Bird, Magic, Isaiah, Barkley, Ewing, like those guys, I think, do look differently upon an era of stars that leave in their prime to go join teams.
But
like
Isaiah
LeBron in Miami, because Isaiah would have never left Detroit to go play with
Isaiah
Jordan.
was on our show, and he gave nothing but kudos to Steph Curry and talked about that area, etc.
But I'm just saying, to actually leave where you are to go join your boys, like Jordan would have never left Chicago to join the Pistons.
But it's a different day and it's a different game.
Exactly, but I think those guys have a harder time accepting
All right, but
that.
if you're gonna keep saying that about Kevin Durant, then you gotta say that about LeBron James.
They have, I think, until LeBron won in Cleveland. Yeah,
he won with Kyrie Irving, who averaged 38 in the playoffs.
Nobody wins alone. Nobody wins alone.
I get
you
that.
You need a team.
And he went on and recruited a team.
Yeah.
Like, Le GM.
Guys, I got a new book here. Vlad the Impaler, inspired good friend Keith Gave, who also wrote the New York Times bestseller about the Russian Five, and of course there was a movie about it as well.
Phenomenal.
I saw it in Imagine.
Movie and film about it. Great stuff. He's going to join us next and tell you one of the reasons why he decided to write this book. We'll talk to him next. Ermanni Edwards, but first a message from Gypsy Vodka.
You saw the video earlier. We already done the promo for it. Gypsy Vodka, guess what? Now they present the mulligan. You know what? When you hit the ball as good as I do, you don't need a mulligan. Unless it's by Gypsy. 8% alcohol, iced tea, lemonade, and mango. Mango, smooth flavor, tastes good, plays good. You want to hit good, you want to hit well, well, get you a Gypsy Vodka mulligan, 8%. If you're going to drink responsibly. Adam and Mike, you got it right.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Here's the book right here, gang. Vlad the Impaler. It's written by Keith Gave, former Red Wings writer of the Detroit Free Press, New York Times best-selling author, Russian 5, film made about it as well, and just a remarkable film and a remarkable book. And he's back at it again with probably one of the most intriguing figures in Detroit sports history, and that is Vladimir Konstantinov, whose life essentially, whose quality of life was ripped away, stolen from him nearly 25 years ago. Actually, just a week ago, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Let's bring him in now. Keith Gave joins us now. Keith, how are you, my friend?
Hey, Keith.
I'm good, boys. Thank you for having me today. Thank you.
Absolutely.
It's our pleasure, man.
Keith, let me just start with that. 25 years. I mean, I remember where I was when I was watching the news reports of the limousine accident. I mean, that was one of those days in my life where you'll never forget where you were when you heard about this news. 25 years ago, what does that mean to you?
Well, it means time flies, eh? I mean, 25 years ago, guys, that's when we used to have parades in downtown Detroit, remember?
Yeah.
I'm old enough to remember that.
What
we
are
had
those?
The Bad Boys. We had the Bad Boys for a couple of years there in 89, 90. Then the Red Wings in the late 90s, in 2002, 2008. Anyways, a long time ago. You talk about 25 years ago when Vladdy was hurt. I happened to be out fishing that night, as a matter of fact, on the Osable River in northern Michigan, close to where I live. I got home, and all hell's breaking loose. I got calls from all over the country wanting to know what I knew about this limo accident, and I knew nothing. And of course, the whole world knew about it a short time later. As you said, one of the most intriguing, maybe like Steve Yzerman said, maybe the most beloved player on that hockey team that year when they won the Stanley Cup in 1997 was Vladimir Konstantinov.
How good could he have been?
Oh, well, he was good enough to be in the Hall of Fame. He would have won a Norris Trophy or two, and Nick Lidstrom probably would not have won 7. And the Red Wings probably would have won a couple of more Stanley Cups at least. I mean, imagine Vladimir Konstantinov and Yuri Fisher as a defense partner, going into a new century.
Where is Vladimir? What is Vladdy? How is he now? When was the last time you spoke with him, and what was that conversation like?
Yeah, Vladdy, I see him. It's been a couple of years since I've seen him. He recognizes who I am. He'll shake my hand as strongly as the night when they won the Stanley Cup on June 7th, 1997. Still a big, strong man. He's got the cognitive abilities of a 5 or 6 or 7 year old kid. He will make small talk with me in Russian and in English. Always, Keith, how you doing? And shake my hand. But then he can get around on a walker pretty darn well. But usually he's in public appearances. He's usually in a wheelchair. But that's as good as we can ask for. And frankly, a lot of people are worried about Vladdy these days, as you might know, because of the changes in Michigan's insurance laws. That 24/7 care that he needs is in jeopardy because the insurance companies are only paying about 55 cents on the dollar for the kind of health care, the hourly health care that he needs. And people who are close to him are worried that he's going to wind up in an institution, guys, in a nursing home facility. And what do they do in a situation like that when a strong man like Vladdy, who's a little strong, a little stubborn, he'll act out a little bit from time to time. What do they do with a patient like that? They strap him down, or they dope him up. And there are people who think if that happens to Vladdy, and it's a real possibility, he's not going to survive.
Hey, Keith, what's going on? Braylon here. You're absolutely right. I had a chance to see right before COVID. I want to say the last game that the Red Wings played at LCA in 2020 was against the Blackhawks. I was at that game. I was at the suite with a friend of mine, Ermanni. I know you recognize that last name. And Vlad was there. And legitimately, I remember being a kid. I remember when that accident happened. I remember being a Red Wings fan. And I've always wanted to meet him, and legitimately I had an opportunity, I had a shot. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how he was going to interact. And I asked, could I talk to him? And Chelly was like, he said, go talk to him. And Chelly O's gave me the introduction, and I just shook his hand. He almost broke my hand. Like that handshake is very, very strong. But he was very engaging for what he could do. Like you said 5, 6, or 7 year old. But he was very engaging, and it just makes you go back to '97 and think about what he was then, and then to shake his hand in 2020 for what he was now. I almost brought a tear to my eye, but I was happy that he was engaging and he did shake my hand. And it was a strong handshake.
Absolutely. He's one of those guys. Listen. I judge guys by who I want in the foxhole with me when the bullets are flying, right? And Vladdy's of all those guys in that room, and there were 20 of them who dressed every night, but about 25 guys on the Red Wings team. Any one of them you take to go to war with, right? But if I had to pick one guy, you put a gun to my head, I get one guy. I'm taking Vladdy with me.
Hey Keith, some proceeds from the book are going to help Vladdy and his family get through this. I wanted to ask you about the Red Wings themselves, their family. Are they going to be able to help Vladdy through this? Can they help them?
Well, I'm sure they can if they want to.
Yeah.
Listen, it's a sensitive subject. I will say this: if Mike Ilitch were still around, we wouldn't be talking about this. I believe. But in my own small way, I decided to write this book. I was going through some notes and looking forward to the 25th anniversary. The Free Press asked me to do some stuff for their book, a really nice coffee table book that Gene Myers, my sports editor of the Free Press, invited me to take part in. And as I was going through my notes, trying to freshen up some of the stuff from the book that I wanted to offer up in this Stanley Town book, I realized that I had a lot of good stuff left over, some really great stories from all these guys. And I thought I'd package them all together and write kind of a sequel to the Russian Five. And I thought because of the changes in the insurance laws, it might be a great way to raise awareness and hopefully inspire others to give a little bit to the Vladimir Konstantinov trust that's been established by his daughter Anastasia. And I'm earmarking a significant portion of the proceeds of the royalties from this book to his GoFundMe account to help take care of the man because he needs it.
And Keith, this is such an important point you raised, and I'm really glad you wrote the book and are raising awareness to this, because for many of us who, back in December or whatever, got a $395 check that was already spent that we didn't even know we had coming to us, that you get back for the catastrophic claims, situation.
Right.
Vladimir Konstantinov is a face of this.
Yeah, and there are 18 to 20,000 other injured motorists who rely on that kind of funding. And this $400 check that most of us got back, I gave my check to the to Vladdy's fund. But that the insurance companies paid out about $3 billion to the in $400 checks to all of us who were paying our car insurance for those years. That leaves about $20 billion on the table that the insurance companies want to get their hands on. This is a giant, greedy money grab. That's all it is, and it's shameful. Will the Ilitches get involved? Honestly, I think they will. I don't think they'll let anything tragic happen, like if Vladdy loses so much of his care that he's going to wind up in home. I can't imagine that happening. The Ilitches are a family that believes in loyalty, and Vladdy was one of the most loyal troops they've ever employed, and I think he's going to be taken care of. But I don't want to just dump it on them. I think all of us can help out.
Keith Cave joins us, author of Vlad the Impaler, of course, the Russian Five, the documentary, and of course the book prior to that. Keith, tell us about Vlad the Impaler and how people can get their hands on it and what they can do to help Vladdy.
Yeah, thank you. It's it's available most places you buy books, bookstores and Amazon. So on. It came out in softcover. It's not as books go. It's not as big a deal as the Russian 5 was, but it's it's at $17 for a softcover book, and all you have to do is buy the book. You don't have to do anything else. Proceeds will go to the to Vladdy's trust fund. But what I did as I was going through my notes and seeing all this good stuff that I never was able to get into the book or into the film, the documentary film, really good chunks of interviews from people like Brendan Shanahan and Chris Draper and Dave Lewis, and people, really good storytellers. And I really couldn't believe how much stuff there was. And I thought I would kind of basically introduce these discussions and let the people we're interviewing just kind of run and let them tell their stories without me getting in the way. So there's long excerpts from these interviews that we did when we had them in front of the camera making the movie, the Russian 5. So there's a lot of that. There's one kind of a fresh story in there that hadn't been reported anywhere. The Free Press used it as an excerpt several Sundays ago now in April, where they excerpted a chapter. The chapter was called "Paybacks Are a Bitch," and it was an interview with Paul Dvorsky. I don't know whether you guys saw it or not, but the guy the referee who officiated the March 26, 1997 game.
Oh yeah.
He answered the question that I always wanted the answer to. What in the hell was Darren McCarty still doing in the game to score the overtime game winner? Don't you think he should have been? Everybody in hockey thought he should have been kicked out of the game, but Dvorsky said, "I don't think so. I'm keeping him in." And his point was, and he said it: paybacks are a bitch. He let him in to take care of business, and then he wound up scoring the overtime winner.
Hey Keith, if you don't mind me asking, I'm a history buff, whether it's fictional or whether it's real history. Vlad the Impaler, obviously some people say that he could be Dracula, blah, 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 blah. I love the idea. Where did you come up with the title, Vlad the Impaler? Because I love it, because Vlad had superhuman strength. Slowly Konstantinov.
Well, Vlad the Impaler was just one of Vladdy's many, many nicknames. He was the Vladnator. I called him at various times Vladimir the Terrible. He was kind of known as Vlad the Impaler by opponents because he wasn't afraid to use a stick, kind of like a spear sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But he probably led the league in nicknames too, and many of them we probably can't say on in a family newspaper or on family TV, right? But one of those, again, it speaks to how colorful he is. And since we were raising awareness about him and what he's up against with the insurance billing now and so on, and that picture of him that we used with the Stanley Cup over his head is iconic, I believe, and it shows him at his healthiest and happiest. And I just thought Vlad the Impaler might tweak some interest by readers that want to pick up the book and find out what it's all about.
The great Keith Gabe, we're huge fans of yours, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for coming on with us. Vlad the Impaler, anywhere books are sold, you got it. And a portion of this sale, a big portion, goes to Vlad himself to try to keep up with the care since the laws changed here in Michigan at the end of last year.
Thanks, Keith.
Can't tell you how much I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
You got it.
Great talking.
Thanks, Keith. You bet. Guys, we got to get to a break. Come right back when we do Maz's videos of the day. But first, a message from MyBookie.
All right. Can't wait to get back to the NHL Stanley Cup Final. Can the Lightning even things up with the Avalanche? We'll find out in Game 4 from Tampa Bay. If you're going to bet with MyBookie.ag. Use the promo code Woodward because they will double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. If you have a gambling problem, please use the Michigan Problem Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Hey, it's Maz for Bedrock Detroit. It's open all summer long, all the way up to Labor Day. It'll be basketball, roller skating, mini golf, art installations, live music, and food trucks. Free Wi-Fi so you can work right there from the park. It's free to enter from the Midway. The most activities are free. The only thing you got to pay for is to skate and for your food. Each week, there's family programming, live DJs, and music at the new stage and pavilion. Pop-up store will feature rotating Detroit businesses every week. All art installations are from Detroit artists. Fun, safe event for people from 1 to 100+ years old. For more information and Midway hours, go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
How about that? What a great interview from Keith Gabe. And again, just to put a bow on it, I mean, you know, when that law changed, for many of us, it was just, hey, we got $400 back from being insured. And then you just don't realize that there's about 18,000 people in our state that have been so catastrophically injured in car accidents that fund was supporting their way of life, their quality of life for so many,
they're getting
for the
half
rest
the
of
money.
their life.
Half the money.
And now they get half of it. So,
do you remember what else happened on the day that Vladdy's accident?
I don't.
Princess died.
Princess died.
Yeah,
I
wow.
said it. You hear me? I
did.
said it.
I did not realize that.
I wanted to say in the interview with Keith, but it didn't make sense. We were talking about Vladdy. But I legitimately was thinking in my head.
What a day.
Hey, watch this. I'll do you one better.
Wow.
With Dodi Fayed.
Yep.
That was
You
his
got
name.
it, buddy.
Dodi Fayed in the tunnel in
You got
Paris.
it. What a setup
I was
that
at my
was.
grandma's house.
Wow.
What a setup that
is
was.
incredible. Yeah, guys. So,
lot of
my
death
goodness.
today, man.
Hey, time of the day, we like to play Maz's
videos of the day.
And now it's time for Maz's Videos of the Day, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
I only got time for a couple today, but I got a ton. But we're going to start
Make 'em good.
with the Golden State Warriors parade. Yesterday, got to lead off with my man.
Somebody fall off the stage?
Steph Curry. No, not this year. Oh, yeah, Steph.
I don't know about you guys, but that brother looks excited.
He is. He was wearing his 3 rings on a chain around his neck.
I love the shirt. Back again. I've always wanted to win a championship just for the parade. I mean, we won the Big Ten in Michigan, but they don't do parades for it. You got to win the national championship, as you should. Suppose. I've always wanted to win a championship, man.
I love that guy. So happy for him. Draymond Green, he was back, too.
Wow.
I told y'all don't let us win a championship, and clearly nobody could stop it. I warned y'all, so I'm just going to continue to destroy people on Twitter as I have been.
Oh, Draymond. I'm glad he's going to come back.
Can't he just say I told you and move on?
No. He's going to come back just to bust your balls.
But it's him, though.
I know.
Would you expect anything?
That's what makes him him.
Hey, you know basketball is a team game, right?
Ish.
It is.
No, I'm joking. It is.
How about pool basketball?
Will Chamberlain.
Check it out.
Good.
there you go. A little pool basketball.
I don't want to be a hater, but I don't get it. Like, what was the purpose?
Well, they were just each jumping in and out. And
no, the one guy did make
it.
a good catch. The guy, I want to say, in the middle on the left side, caught it between his legs. Like,
that's because he jumped late.
He saved the day.
It was a bad pass.
Yeah, it was a bad pass.
He made it look good. I got one more for you guys before we say goodbye. Ryan, you got to pay attention to this one because Lukey's going to do this to you.
Okay.
Check it out.
Go ahead a minute.
Right back.
I thought it was going to be the family
God,
jewels.
I hope he does that to me. I'd be so happy.
Right in the face, man.
I'd be so
Look,
happy.
right in your face. In your face.
Oh my God, that's great.
I'm trying to think. Did the guy have enough time to get out the way?
No way.
I don't know. I think he had something. How old is that kid? 4?
Yeah.
You see MLB players that get out the way.
I don't think he was expecting the kid to hit it.
Oh my
Nah,
God.
I ain't gonna lie. That was a rope, though. That was
great
rope.
stuff. Hey, gang, we got to get out of here. 4 o'clock. Braylon, get us out of here. You're up.
4 o'clock. Hey, guess what? We'll be back tomorrow. Glad to be in the studio. Had a lot of fun today. Hey, stay inside. Stay cool. Because that heat outside, it is very real. See you guys tomorrow. Make it easy and simple. Go pick up some Gypsy Mulligan. Go to the golf course.
Bye, Carl.
Ryan, Maz, Sam, and my man Fletch. We're out of here.
We're out of here. Do I just go? I'm not going to drop. Go. All right. Go ahead.
2, 1.
Oh, my God. Go. Oh, jeez. Oh, my. Oh. This isn't right. I don't get paid